So here again, Constitutional Coop headquarters out here in California. And I just did a resounding video on my newest discovery, which is the jus soli foreign state. And I urge you to watch that one. It will be closely associated with this video. And I've discussed this one in the past, but not in this context. And that's my petition for a non-statutory supremacy clause removal to federal circuit court. That's an Article 3 judicial court. The Constitution mandates it has to exist. Justice Joseph Story, the greatest commentator on the Constitution ever, said it has to exist. And it must, because if we don't have judicial courts, then every law on the books, especially in my hometown of Washington, D.C., ain't is null and void, non pro tunc ab initio, is bills of attainder, taking of life, liberty, or property without judicial process. This is how we get into the Article 3 Circuit Court, and those courts have to exist even, for example, in the territory of California, where I am. And when you get my constitutional defense document packet, send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com, modestly priced. You'll learn that in my case, I have personalized relevant admissible evidence that California is not a state admitted into this union. Therefore, there's no need for judicial courts. All they have is that jus soli foreign state crap. That's all they recognize, the body politic. And think about it, not only subordinate corporate, but dead entities. Now, if they think you're a dead citizen, you don't have any rights. Why don't we ask them this kind of a question then? If that's true, and we're dead entities, how is it that we managed to vote on election day? Federal criminal grand jury would love to hear the answer to that type of question. So that said, this removal, we get there. And what we do is we give them effective service of process, which is a hell of a lot more than you've ever gotten. But we can do it. And the good news about that is, even though they're going to be correctly served, they're going to get a motion to strike any and all pleadings they put in, because artificial corporate dead entities don't have any standing in our judicial court. That's the way it's supposed to be, and we want it back. And we're going to do our very best to do that. So that's, it's just, wow, it's just unbelievable what those racist framers managed to do, quote unquote racist. And I didn't realize until I reread Article 3, Section 2. I've known it for years, and it says foreign state right in there. So we can remove everything, because that's all they have are foreign states composed, in my view, of citizens of the District of Columbia. But whatever state it is, it's a foreign state to our sovereign independent states admitted into this union as common law states. So we don't care how you want to characterize it. It's not where we are. It's not where we want to be. And they can't force us into their just us system. Ain't. What it boils down to is, in legal parlance, it's very well maybe a discretionless ministerial duty. And I'm going to be communicating with some people on my own, especially in San Francisco, where I've got a multi-million-dollar default judgment sitting there for the moment that should have been executed a year and a half ago. And it's going to get executed now with exactly this threat. Telling the federal judge to no uncertain terms, either do your damn job, or you're going to get ordered to do it by the Supreme Court, or you might be charged with treason to the Constitution, and more than one count, because they have a sworn duty. And it's said in a case called Collins v. Virginia, 264, 1818, I believe. And the court now knows this case very well. And what did they say there? The court must exercise jurisdiction if it has it, but it can't exercise jurisdiction if it doesn't. The one or the other is treason to the Constitution. And that being the case, the perps out here in particular will find themselves discharged with treason in close proximity to cell 2455 in San Quentin, and damn well should be there. I mean, that's how strong this Constitution was and is. It was never a perfect government. Don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that. Only the best one ever created. We want it back. Simple. Once we do that, we can go from there and make changes and do it in conformance with the Constitution, not an absolute contradiction of all 6 articles of it, like what the New York banksters did with the war between the states, Reconstruction, the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th Amendments, you name it. It has to go. Ain't out of here. We want it back. We have a right to have it back. And the best part about that for me personally, other than the fact it benefits ourselves, our family, and our posterities, is we can set the tone and show other nations how to do the same thing. Even if they don't have the background that we happily have in the United States, I think this is doable everywhere with popular support. So that part's down the road. I probably won't be here to see it, which is not a big deal, but I'm going to be 76 later this year. And as you can tell, I'm energized and so full of life and thankful for great health that I have every day. The man upstairs is watching out for me. And he probably has something of a duty to do it because somehow he put me here with the intent to do what it is I'm doing. I can't provide all the details at this point, but as I said in some earlier videos, I'm pretty damn sure I'm a refugee from March 3rd, 1857. And you can Google that and you'll see exactly why I know the date. How I got here, I have to ask Elon Musk and Bill Gates about that part. But here I am, and here I'm going to be for the foreseeable future to help you, your friends, your family, and your posterity. Well, that said, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, and request by modestly priced information is going to be stunning. And by the way, I went to school in the south side of Washington, D.C. 60 years ago. Never heard any of this. Now, if I'd heard about Andrew Johnson and the veto of the Reconstruction Act of 1867 in that time frame, my life would have been different. They don't want you to know anything about that and a hell of a lot more you're going to learn about here. So it's all exciting. That's what keeps me going. And I want to do my utmost to help you out of any predicament you have. Doesn't matter what it is, by the way. Traffic court, criminal court, child procurement, syndicate, mortgage, foreclosure, evictions. The legal issues are the same. They're all administrative states, and the current justices of the U.S. Supreme Court are in their 4th term of an all-out assault on that administrative state, and these bastards damn well know it. To be sure, their turn hasn't come yet, but I'm going to do my utmost to see that happens. Certainly not later than the next full term of the court, which begins in October, when they'll really have some flexibility in getting out there and advocating for the original intent while explaining it to the people so you know what it is, Justice. Get it out there. Let them know the truth. You're doing a great job, but you need to do a better job. So that said, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, and I'll get information about everything I've talked about here and more besides. And it doesn't matter what situation you're in, we can get you out of it. Thank you.